All right, coming up, three new killer technologies that could take out entire industries and disrupt business as we know it. Find out what they are next.
Well, forget about the big guns. There are some new companies and technologies that are ready to come out of nowhere. They can change businesses' games and topple the titans of industry. This happens all the time, and it might be about to happen again. Eric Schoenfeld is the editor-at-large of Business 2.0 magazine. It recently identified 11 of the so-called disruptive technologies that might be out there lurking on the horizon. He joins us this morning with a look at the few of the most interesting. And Eric, this is a great story. We went through and looked at this. You point out that this happens all the time. You had a company like Eastman Kodak that has completely disappeared. The telephone came out of nowhere and disrupted that industry. But let's take a look at some of the things that you see that's coming out there. One of these is something that's called EE Store. Now, this is a ceramic source for electric cars. What is this?
So there's a stealth company in Texas. It's called EE Store. It's backed by Kleiner Perkins, one of the biggest venture capitalist firms. And they've come up with a new battery technology that it's not a chemical battery, it's a ceramic battery. It's sort of what's known as an ultracapacitor. And it charges up really fast, it doesn't leak any of its charge. And if you think about it, why is it disruptive? For the equivalent of less than $10, you'd be able to travel 500 miles versus $60 to $80 with the tank of gas. So this really has the potential to disrupt the internal combustion engine if it works as advertised.
Right, you're talking about the disruption of the big car companies and especially the big oil companies. How far off is this invention?
They're working on it right now. They're trying to scale up the production of it. It's more of a manufacturing issue. My understanding of it is the company really wouldn't talk too much to me other than to confirm some basic facts. I really have to talk to some of their customers that they have deals with to learn about the technology. I uncovered one of their patents. But my understanding is that there's one company that's an electric car company that today has an electric car that's really no more powerful than a moped. And with this battery, their car will be able to sort of be a highway vehicle that is the equivalent of any other car out there. And they hope to have it by 2008.
By 2008, you also talk about something called Zopa, which is out there to destroy the traditional banks. This is peer-to-peer lending. What is this?
It's peer-to-peer lending. So if you think about what Skype is doing to the telephone companies with free phone calls, this company might do to banks with peer-to-peer lending. And what they do, just like eBay brings together buyers and sellers, what this company does is it brings together people who want to lend money to each other. So the way it works is, say you have $10,000, you want to lend, you want to get a better rate of return than you could in a savings account or through a CD in a bank. You put it into your Zopa account, and then they split it up 50 ways to 50 people who want to borrow some money for whatever reason, and then they they split up the risk. And so far, this has been up and running in England. They're coming to the U.S. In England, their default rate is 0.05%.
Wow, that's an amazing thing. It sounds like something that could really disrupt those banks. And again, Eric, I know it's too soon to get involved on how to really invest in any of these things yet, but you're saying look out if you're a big oil company or if you are one of those traditional banks. Eric, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. Eric Schoenfeld again of Business 2.0. Coming up on Squawk, the world's biggest retailer trying to score some points with customers and employees by making generic drugs even cheaper.